Welcome to Rob's Oxford and the Most Beautiful Colleges of Oxford University series. Here, Rob Walters, your popular Oxford guide, turns the spotlight on the College of Worcester. Enjoy.
Worcester College is easy to miss. It is located somewhat away from the city centre, as you can see on the map. And its street-level presence does not truly convey its inner beauty. Nonetheless, I've included it in my Most Beautiful College series because of its spectacular and hidden interior. Let's have a look. Here we are looking down onto the main quad. Isn't it green? I visited once during a drought. It was still green, and I was assured that the water, to keep it so, was drawn from the college lake, not the mains. What a wonderful place this is in which to hold the college ball. Let's take a closer look. The cottage-style buildings on the right of the main quad predate today's Worcester College. They were part of the old Gloucester College, which began in 1283 when the monks of Gloucester Abbey established a lodging in what is now Pump Quad here, hence the college's original name. Other monasteries followed this initiative, and you can see their coats of arms on what are often called the cottages. However, the dissolution of the monasteries in about 1539 spelled the end of Gloucester College's existence. Leaping forward in time, Worcester College was founded on these grounds in 1714 by Worcestershire baronet Sir Thomas Cookes, and construction of the main quad soon began. The central group, comprising the hall to the right, the chapel to the left, and the library above, are attributed to architect Nicholas Hawksmoor and others. Let's look inside. Of all the Oxford College chapels, I believe that Worcester is one of the most impressive, and yet it was rather dull when initially built. The refurbishment by William Burgess in 1864 created this blaze of colour, gilding, lettering and decoration which delights so many. In fact, William Burgess worked his dramatic magic on the dining hall too in the 19th century. But a number of renovations, including the most recent in 2018, which occasioned the rehanging of Sir Thomas Cook's portrait, have restored it to its original simplicity. Above the chapel and the hall is the Old College Library, which contains the large book collection of George Clark, who collaborated on the design of this central group of buildings with Nicholas Hawksmoor. Returning to the main quad itself, here is a range of buildings that you see on your right as you pass through the main entrance. They look down on the monastic houses opposite and are a complete contrast to them. The rooms of this 18th century building provide student accommodation and fellows' rooms used for tutorials. The Provost's lodging was attached to the western end of the range later in the 18th century. The Provost is the head of the college, and in the past a great deal of the extensive land now owned by the college formed the Provost's garden. Let's visit the college gardens as they are today. There is a sort of tunnel in the corner of the main quad opposite the Provost's lodging, which leads to Nuffield Lawn, a large park-like area sporting many well-established trees, which is bounded to the west by the canal. On the northern side, behind the medieval houses of the old Gloucester College, wide borders contain a fascinating variety of shrubs and flowering plants. This is a wonderful aspect for a student lodging in one of those houses, and fortunately Arthur Baun Mazzoni kindly allowed me to sample a video he's made about his rooms there.
This is my main room. So it's pretty big. I have a second room, and this room is like my something. Every room in Worcester is meant to have a mini fridge, no matter the grade, which is really helpful because it means I can keep cheese, yogurt, ham, milk in there. And then here we have a sink, with an individual water heater under there. So if I want hot water for a shave or to do the washing up, I just flick it on and within about 2 minutes I have hot water. Oh, I've never done this before. This is interesting. A mirror and some little tables. That is the working heater, and some very dodgy single glazed windows that don't close properly. All very characterful. I actually really like my room. I'll just show you my view.
Thanks, Arthur. Beyond the Nuffield lawn lies the wonderful lake that graces the grounds of Worcester, and which support a variety of wildlife, including the occasional visiting otter. The footpath between the lake and the canal leads to the cricket pavilion and the extensive sports field of the college. Worcester is one of the few that has this facility within its own boundaries. The field is overlooked by the very modern Sultan Nazrin Shah Centre with its large auditorium and dance studio. The Sultan of Perak, Nazrin Shah, was a former student. Near there, overlooking the lake, is the equally modern Sainsbury Building. Two of the Sainsbury supermarket family, Timothy and John, were students at Worcester. That building is close to the orchard, which produces sufficient apple and pear juice to provide 750 bottles of the stuff to sell to college members. There are a number of other buildings which make up the college, some old, some new. Some bordering the area of Oxford called Jericho, some actually in it. Others, including the Asa Briggs building, face Worcester Street and Hythebridge Street. All in all, a fascinating combination of varied buildings surrounding a beautiful quad and bordered by a wealth of tended and wild parks and gardens. Many Worcester students have made a name for themselves in the world. I've selected just 3 of them. Author Richard Adams, who created that wonderful book, Watership Down. Rupert Murdoch, the media magnate. And Thomas de Quincey, who is best known for his Confessions of an Opium Eater. He commenced this habit whilst a student at Worcester, where he completed his studies but did not take the necessary oral examination. I do hope you enjoyed that video on Worcester College. It's a hidden jewel in Oxford and it welcomes visitors nowadays. If you haven't already subscribed to my Rob's Oxford channel, then please do so, and don't forget to click that notify bell. Plenty more videos coming along.